Hey guys, you're watching this one and only. My name is AJ. Today we start a new series. Isn't it weird that we go a month or two or three and we're working really hard on our current series, and then within a week of each other, two series end? I don't plan it like that, it just happens. So we're going to start a new series today, and when I was going through my 75,000 subscriber video, if you haven't seen that, you should go and check it out. I react to some of my old and first videos that I ever done on the channel. It's really cringy, really bad, but it's a really funny video either way. But on that video, I rediscovered an old map that I had made called ZombieZ, spelt with a Z at the start and a Z at the end. And this map was a zombie map, and at the time, it was really laggy. I wasn't very good at Redstone at the time, and it was so it worked. The game worked, but it was so laggy to play. And I think we can actually redo a newer version, a better version on it. So that's what we're going to be doing in this series. A ZombieZ 2 map, maybe I'll call it. I don't know. Now, I built that map off camera. That wasn't like an on camera series. I built it when it was finished. I uploaded like the finished thing with the download link because that was back on Xbox 360. Now for this series, I'm building it on Xbox One because my Xbox 360 is broken. I don't have an Xbox 360 anymore. But I want to do this series in a way that won't matter. I want to do this series in a way that you guys can build exactly the same thing as me, or use the logic that we're going to use for this game and build your own map, build your own game from it. It's going to be really, really cool. This episode, we need to do some testing. We need to do some working out. We need to think about some of the logic and some of the ideas that we want in the game. And in the comment section, I want you guys to put down, wait until the end of the video so you see what we've done so far and stuff like that. But I want you guys to write down, if I haven't said any ideas that you think would be good to implement into this zombie map, then at the end of the video, put them down in the comment section below and we'll be able to implement them later on. So we're going to create a new world here, and I'm going to call this ZombieZ 2. ZombieZ. I had a capital Z at the end. ZombieZ 2. Okay, that's just what I'm going to call it. We want it to be a creative world. We're going to leave the difficulty on hard because obviously we're going to be doing zombie stuff. Oh, if you don't know what the map is, by the way, if you did miss the video, basically it's a, Call of Duty Zombies style thing. A zombie horde mini game is basically what it is. We're going to leave the texture pack on normal so everybody can build exactly the same as what we're doing here. We don't need a seed. The world size can be a classic. We don't want any structures, but we do want it to be a custom super flat world. So we're going to go into custom super flat here. And as you can see, it's already got my presets set up. I've got one grass block as the top layer. Then I've got 3 air blocks. Now the reason why I've got 3 air blocks underneath it is because the redstone is going to be underneath the ground. We don't want the redstone being visible. We want to hide it as much as possible. But if we had just grass into dirt into bedrock, we always have to dig out a load of space in order to put the redstone down. If we just have air block underneath it, when we want to do some redstone, we just break the top block. Boom! We've got 2 blocks to be able to walk in, and then the 3rd block is if we were doing something with pistons, or if we needed that extra block for whatever reason, we have 3 air blocks. I've then put it up to 24 dirt blocks, and then obviously the bedrock at the bottom. Now, for you guys, it'll probably be 1 dirt block, 1 grass block, 2 dirt, and 1 bedrock. If you want to add more, all you need to do is hit A to add layer. Add layer here. Choose your block, like redstone ore. Go to your height. You can choose how thick you want it to be, and then hit OK. And there we go. We got a 5-layer thick redstone ore layer. Okay, so we can now delete that. We don't want that. 1 grass, 3 air, 24 dirt, 1 bedrock. We want it on plains because that obviously makes sense. We don't want any villages or abandoned mine shafts or anything like that, so that can leave there. Any game options here? We do not want fire spread on. I probably don't want TNT explodes because that could be a terrible thing. PvP can be on for the moment. I'm going to leave everything else like that for the moment. Mob spawning. When disabled, mobs will not spawn naturally. Yeah, we don't want that. When disabled, how do I turn that on? Host privileges. Turn that off. We don't want them to spawn naturally. We want to spawn them out of dispensers. I do not want weather cycle. I do not want daylight cycle. And that should do for the moment. I could probably turn mob loot off, mob griefing off. And that should do. That should be good for the moment. Let's create the new world then. And jump into this. The reason why I've got it on such a small world is because we don't need it to go on forever. We don't need a huge, large world here. But beautiful. Oh, my HUD's off. I thought something was missing. There we go. So if we go underneath here, we have plenty of room for redstone. How cool is that? We don't have to dig anything out. And now we've got this top layer to be able to build on. So what's my idea for this one? Now, on my last ZombieZ game, it was like a very miniature city. It had like 2 roads. It had a bank. It had a couple of houses, a little car park, a cathedral, things like that. For this one, I wanted to be different, so we're going to be doing a campsite with a load of caravans. Can I make it like a bit more day? Like if I go, like make set to day, will it make it a little bit brighter? There we go. I want to have caravans and RVs and campfires and some little buildings about, loads of trees. I want it to be really dark and evil. However, there's a test that we want to do first. We want to work out sort of roughly how many zombies we can spawn at once. Like how many zombies can actually be on the map at one time. So I think the easiest way to do this would be to set up a little miniature clock first and just sort of fire all of these and see if it just does, like, keep spawning them. I want to find out exactly what the mob limit is. Let's do the old cauldron one. Boop. And boop. Comparator. Out of here. Don't worry about copying this yet. This is just me sort of testing more than anything at the moment. I'm going to put that on a nice slow one for the moment. Okay, so that should tick away. Then we can grab some zombies. Let's clear my inventory so I can get a load of these. And we want to... Oh, and make it nighttime so they don't burn. There we go. Now, I just want to see if there's a point where they don't spawn anymore. At the moment, we're still spawning zombies. I don't mind how many we get. Speed this up a little bit. Okay, have we hit the limit or are we going too quick? Okay, I think we've hit the limit. There's no more zombies coming out. So that is the maximum amount of zombies that we can have on the map at one time. To be honest, that's quite a lot of zombies. And I think if I kill these off, they should start spawning again. Are they still... They're not even ticking out of it. That's very interesting. So it's not like they're even trying to spawn. If we use Potion of Healing here. There we go. And when we're killing them off, look, it's letting us spawn more of them. Right? Or is it already spawning them for us and I'm not seeing on the other side? We should be able to kill these off and let it spawn more of them. There we go. Okay, beautiful. So it is working. It is working. Let's make it daytime and have the most horrendous noise in the world. Oh my god! Oh yeah, and some of you guys aren't going to die, are you, with helmets on? What other one? There's another helmet one here. That's pretty cool that we get some harder ones naturally as well. So we get like boss zombies at the same time. That's pretty funny. That's pretty cool that we can use that to our advantage. Oh yeah, and you're still ticking. We're still making more without even knowing it. Oh yeah, babies don't die either in the sun. I wonder why babies don't die in the sun. I wonder what the logic behind that is. Die. Dude, that's so funny though. Okay, you're dead. And you're dead. So, we can definitely spawn enough zombies here for it to be a catastrophic map of deadliness. And we can increase the difficulty as well by either giving less armor to the player or to playing it on hard for one will actually make it a lot harder, giving them less weapons or you know, less durable weapons so they break quicker in order to make the game harder. So let's just I can set my spawn, can't I, in here? Yeah, set world spawn point. So I can put the spawn wherever we want. I'm gonna set the spawn for the moment right here, and I'm gonna put a little bit of glowstone down underneath me, just so I know exactly where the spawn is. It's somewhere here, okay, somewhere there. Now, the map itself. What I want is a relatively small area to be able to walk around in with a load of camper vans and RVs, campfires, maybe a couple of little buildings that would be used for toilets, but will also be a sort of deadly area. But then surrounded with a fence to keep you in, with trees on the other side of the fence to make the map look like it's a full map and not just a super flat world. But we also want some other mechanics to the game. What we want to have is on the last one, I actually used end portal frames in Eyes of Ender, and what you would do is, I wonder if this just works with a comparator now. It does. Before, I had to use a bud switch, so basically I would have a piston on the other side of this, and it was a larger build, and when you put an Eye of Ender in here, it would then activate a redstone signal. Now with the comparator that's updated, we can make it a lot smaller, a lot less laggy, a lot less pistons, a lot less noise. It'll be a lot better. So basically, I think we'll probably do this again, as it's pretty interesting. What we can do is we can have end portal frames around the map. Okay, end portal frames around the map, and we'll hide Eyes of Ender around the map as well. By the way, this episode, I doubt we'll be building much. We're sort of just working out some of the logic first behind it, and maybe planning out some of it. But what we can have is a comparator that comes out of here, that goes into a... well, how compact and small do we want this? Like, how tiny do we want this to be? Like, if I had a block there, and a piece of redstone on there, boop, it goes straight into that. And then we want a block on top, piece of redstone, and then, well, actually, you don't want people to be able to take what's in there. You want them to have to find the Eye of Ender first. So let's put the dispenser there. Beautiful. Did you hear that tick? That means it works. And then to cover it up so people can't access it, we can use something like glass. So let's just use, like, I don't know, for the moment, a piece of red glass in front of that. You cannot now access that dispenser, no matter how clever you are. You're not going to be able to click anywhere in order to be able to get it. Let's block this completely. And look how small and compact that is. That's so tiny and compact. In here, let's put, for test purposes, a diamond sword in there. Block this up absolutely completely, and then what we can do is we can hit the put the Eye of Ender in here, boom, and we get a sword. How cool is that? So basically, like on Call of Duty Zombies, I'm sure at least some of you have played this before in the past. There's something called the Pack-a-Punch, and the Pack-a-Punch is basically like a weapon upgrade system. Well, we can upgrade weapons in Minecraft with an enchantment table, so we can easily have an enchantment table somewhere on the map, maybe in a difficult place or a more central place. On the last one, I surrounded it with lava, and I think I want to do the same thing on this one. So we'll have lava surrounding the enchantment table, so it's a dangerous thing. You have to parkour over to it. But with the levels that you get from killing the zombies, you can then enchant your weapon to make it better. These little end portal frames, I'm going to use as sort of like the mystery box, which again is off Call of Duty Zombies, where in the dispenser that'll be above, you know, in these systems, we can have a bunch of different stuff. So we can have wooden swords, we can have stone swords, we can have diamond swords, and it's random. What comes out is random. We can even put armor in these as well. We've got 9 slots, so we could have like 1 piece of iron armor each, and then maybe 1 piece of diamond armor. And when you put it in, what you get out is different every time. So this makes the map fun to play multiple times. What you don't want to do is have the game set up so you know exactly where all the good loot is. You want the game to be set up where it's a little bit more randomized. It's a little bit more RNG, which is random number generation dependent. Sometimes you'll get lucky, sometimes you won't get as lucky. And that is what's going to be interesting. Now, in the spawn area, depending on the difficulty, what we'll do is we'll have like a normal difficulty door and a hardcore difficulty door. In the normal difficulty door, when you go through it, there's going to be like a little tiny room with maybe a chest or a quick armor up system that's going to have maybe leather or chainmail armor. I don't want nothing to be overpowered to start off with. So you'll be able to go in there, you'll be able to get some armor and maybe a sword. If you want to go the hardcore difficulty method, you will start off with nothing, zilch. And you'll have to go through the map and find your own weapons as you go. Obviously, we can't really choose the weapons that you get along the way unless we use dispensers for everything. If we use dispensers for everything, it's completely random what you get throughout the entire game. Now, that sounds pretty interesting. Now, there is another problem that we have with that. Let's say that we've got a dispenser below the surface here. Let's just grab a block. And we want to put a dispenser right here with a block on top. Now, this is going to fire whatever we want through it. If I had something in the dispenser and I hit a button, which we can put simply on top here. So let's put this dirt block in here. And I hit this button, boop, we got the dirt block back, okay? So it's always going to fire it up. It should never get stuck below the surface. In fact, we can really test this out by putting in, like, just a stack of these. This is a test episode. This is truly a test episode. Yeah, it's always going to fire up. We're never going to get it firing in the ground. So like that, and basically we could have a bunch of different stuff. Iron swords, stone swords, wooden hose, stuff like that. But that only really gives you... Well, it gives you two problems. One, it only gives you 9 games before you have to go around each dispenser and reset it. Secondly, it's not stopping anybody from hitting the button 9 times until they get the best item out of each one. So is there a way that we can make this only hittable once? Like, you can only punch it once. Now, actually, there's a pretty cool way to do it. What if I just put a piston there? Does it not activate it? Oh, that's really surprising. I thought that would then break. If we use the lever, it might. Really? Or does it not work in front of it? Is that what the problem is? Like, it works on this side, so it should work on the other side. Oh, I've lost where the dispenser is. Where is it? It's there. Boop. Okay. How are we gonna... We want to either break... We basically want to break the button. We could use water to wash the button away, and once the button's gone, you can no longer access it. But what are our other options? What's another thing that we can do? I'm sure there's a way that we could do it with a piston. But I want it small. I want it nice and compact. And I want really to have it completely flat along the top. There could be a way... This wouldn't keep it flat along the top. But if we done something like... Oh, let me get down here. If we done something like this... And had that extended forward... And when you hit the button, it would then... shrink the piston. No, I don't like that idea. I don't like that plan. I want it to always destroy it. TNT will blow up and the items will become available for everyone, and it will access the redstone underneath. So we don't want any TNTs, any creepers or anything, which is why we have mob drops off. How can we remove the button? I think water is our only option. I can only think of water to get rid of it. What about if we had it against a wall instead? Like, let's take away the floor aspect, And let's put it onto a wall instead, like how the Ender Portal ones are. So we have a button on here. Behind the button, we have our dispenser with our blocks in. Pow! Gives us one. And then, let's try this piston thing again, but on top. I'm sure the piston thing works. Or do we need an up one? And how am I going to activate it? Like, how are we going to get the redstone up to that in a in a compact-ish way? We might find better ways along the way to do this. Does that activate that? I highly doubt it. No, not that way then. Not that way. I don't want it underneath it. I want it to be flush from the front. Not that way. Let's just test if it does break that button. Not there, it doesn't. It does there. Okay, that's perfect then. But it didn't then. It can't... Oh. It looks like it doesn't work from the front. If we do it here, though, it does. It breaks that button. Okay. How can I activate this redstone now, then? Let me have a think, and I shall be back. I've got it. Ha ha ha. Look. Let me, in here we've got, wood. I'll try and stand away so I don't pick it up. But ready? Pow. We get the wood. The button breaks. And, it's a way, if we do it on adventure mode, you can't break blocks, can you? Or you can't place, can you place blocks in adventure mode? You might be able to. I'll have to test it. Either way, we'll make a rule that you can't replace the button down to get another one. I think that's fair enough. So, how did I build this? Well, it turns out it's very, very simple. I done all sorts of experiments. I ended up with something that was quite big at first, but it's all compacted down now. You have your dispenser, with whatever items you want in it. You've got your block, and then you've got your button on the front. Then what you're going to do is you're going to come underneath here, and you're going to put down 2 blocks, or basically just have your sticky piston here with a grass block on top. Okay, so you got it like this. And then you're going to take this block away, move it down by 1, and have your piece of redstone right there. And that's it. That's all it is. Boop. There we go, and we get our torch out. So that's really cool. So we've got our random weapons that you can access at any time. So all you need to do for these is find them and push the button to get the prize out of it. We've got the ones that you need... your Eyes of Ender. You need to find the Eyes of Ender first. They'll be like rarer things before you can actually access those. Just trying to get rid of everything. Make it nice and clean still. But yeah, so you got to find the Eyes of Ender first in order to get the item that's inside those ones. We've got the enchantment to be able to make your weapons better by using the levels that you get. And finally, we want some buffs. You want to be able to buff yourself. So I'm going to use the same system as what I had before. I'm going to have red for health, blue for speed, green for strength. And I'm going to put glass on top, put a button on each one, have dispensers below with potions of all those types, splash ones. So we'll have one for the moment, for tutorial's sake, speed, health, and strength. A splash potion of strength. There we go. So these are really, really simple to make. All you want to do is have the dispensers in the ground with your colour of choice on top. So for strength, I like green. For speed, I like blue. For health, I like red. Put the buttons on. Then I like to put a glass box on top to make it look like a vending machine. So these are like health vending machines. And if you want the health one, oops, I should probably put the things in first. I'm sure you guys can see exactly how they work anyway, though. Whoops. I don't think I need to show you, but for those of you that are really new to Redstone and want to be able to build this as well, you'll be able to. Pow. 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 So we have strength and speed, and if I had health, it would have healed me as well. You got to make sure you stand nice and close to these, so you can't be standing really, really far away. You won't get the full effect. Obviously, the closer you are, the more effect that you'll get off it. But that's really cool. So we can hide some of these around the map as well. Again, this only gives you 9 goes at it before they run out. But to be honest, I think that's probably a good amount. I think if you had, have just these 9 and then you run out, that's probably a nice balanced way of the game. So you've only got a certain amount of re-healths around the map. You've only got a certain amount of speeds. You've only got a certain amount of strengths. Now, what's quite interesting, I'm going to use the same principle as what I had on my first zombies map, and there's going to be no food. No food on the map. The only way that you can stay alive with hunger is by eating rotten flesh, which obviously makes you even hungrier. So you need to keep eating zombie flesh throughout the game to be able to survive and to keep your health from regenerating and being able to sprint all the time. That's the hardest aspect of the game. But you can survive with it, believe me. Anyway, that's all we've got time for this episode. I did say that we weren't going to get any building done today, but I think we've got most of the logic set up and ready to go. Maybe you guys can even start on your map already if you're building this at home as well. If you do, be sure to send me some pictures through Facebook or Twitter. Until next time, guys, we shall see you in the next episode.